bring that up. Now this one is a new reversible stamp set. So this is something a little new, and it's patent pending from Stampin' Up. So I'm going to show you how this works. And then there are coordinating dies with this as well. So a lot of these things, there's not necessarily stamps to go with it, but we're going to create with those also. So you'll see that you have your little mugs, and then there's also these great little overlays that you can, oops, one of my candy canes got stuck there. There's this great little overlay you can put on there too. So just to give that some dimension. And here is my shaded spruce one. And I didn't layer those so that you could see how those would put together. And you can also do that with the candy cane. Let's see if I can grab him. So I did mine with the cherry cobbler and then white over it. So you would just glue those together to create your candy cane image. Or you could do the cherry cobbler on top and do the white in the back. So either way, that works. And then there's lots of little leaves and holly and little tags. So there's a lot of versatility with this stamp set. And this is one of those stamp sets that you could use for everyday crafting as well. It'd be perfect for your coffee-loving friends and add a birthday sentiment, or for tea, or just something bright and colorful. You'll see there's some examples of everyday cards in the catalog also. But this is a bundle that's really cute. So what I'm going to show you is what this reversible stamp is like. So I'm going to use my paper piercing pad, and I have a shaded spruce ink pad. I'm going to go ahead and open that up and get it ready. And I went ahead and I put my stamp on the block. And let me find my little piece of scrap paper, because I know I've got one somewhere that'll work for this. Don't think that's the one I want to use. All right. So here we go. I've got my scrap piece of paper, and I'm going to just ink that stamp up. Now, because these are really solid images, you're going to want to ink that up good, get lots of ink on there. And the pad will help you get an even better image. So I'm going to put that down, and you'll notice that when I stamp it, I hold it in place for just a moment, because that way it will actually absorb that ink. And when I lift that off, you get the image there. Now I'm going to go ahead and clean that off. I'm going to use my chamois for that. And get that cleaned up really nicely, and as you can see, that chamois does a great job of that. And here's the neat part of this. I'm going to flip that over. So I had it like this. I'm simply flipping that over, and I can use the reverse side of that also. So I'm going to ink that up, and we're going to do that over here. So you'll see I have a cup for a lefty and a righty. And we have the dies that will cut those out in both directions. So that is what the reversibles are. So it is a stamp that you can use both sides of. So I think that's pretty cool. That's kind of a neat new thing that they're doing. The other thing I loved about this particular stamp set is, check this out. They've actually pre-printed these in here for you to actually put your stamps on there for storage. So that makes it very nice also. So I'm going to cover that with that. Cover those up. All right. So I would use these for my first project. And remember I told you I was going to use the plaid, the wrapped in plaid paper. Now these papers are absolutely gorgeous. So you can see that they're all with a plaid background, and there's just a little bit of gold foil on every one of those. So there are just tons of great plaids. So that's on one side, but on the other side, there's actually other fun Christmas images. So we've got stockings and reindeers and Christmas trees and polka dots. So there's a lot of fun things in this paper hack. And you'll find this in the Wrapped in Plaid suite. So for the 2 cards I'm doing tonight, I only used 1 sheet of this paper. Next I have I've stamped and die cut 2 mugs. So I did one with the stripes, and I also did one with the polka dots, and the polka dots can be reversed also. And my next step is I'm going to take a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and this cardstock measures, I believe it is 3.5 by 5. And I'm going to add some of that Wrapped in Plaid paper to the bottom. This piece measures, I think, 2 inches by 3.5. I will have all of these measurements on the blog for you. So you can see I've just put that there at the bottom. And then check out this ribbon. This is one of my favorites in the catalog. And I'm going to tie this around. So it's always, I think bows are always challenging, but it's even more challenging when you've got people watching you closely. So I never like to make bows on video, but we'll give it a try today. Hopefully it won't turn out too awful. Okay. Not too bad. Okay, I'm going to just trim that up with my ribbon scissors. And then I have a card base already cut. And this one is Cherry Cobbler. So the main colors in this is Cherry Cobbler and Shaded Spruce. And I'm going to, let me get one other thing over here. I'm going to use my little silicone mat because I don't want to get adhesive all over everything. But I'm going to go ahead and put this strip of gold foil along this edge of my card, just like so. And I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back because I want that to pop up off of that. Anytime I do ribbon on my card, I usually will do it on the front layer. I know some people like to do it around the whole card, but I don't really like it showing on the inside of the card. So I'll usually put a layer on top, just like this, and wrap it around that layer before putting it onto the card. So I'm going to just line that up. Okay. And then we're going to want to add our mugs. So I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do my green one first. Let's see. We want to do it just like so. So I'm going to put some adhesive on the back. Little snail adhesive. I'll put one up here. And I'm going to put, now that's not nice. It's not nice for my snail not to cooperate with me when I'm doing that. So I've added those. And this card was based on a card that Monica Gale from the UK did. And I kind of simplified it. I'll show you that I did add a few more little goodies to it. And you can see that finished card right there. So included in that die set are these little holly leaves and also the little candy cane. And then I added the greeting there also. And then I finished the card by just putting another white piece on the inside. Cherry Cobbler's kind of dark, so it's kind of hard to see. And then stamp Merry Christmas in there. And that is also in this set. So you can see how that card came together. So that is one of the cards that I'll be doing as a giveaway. So if you are the first one to make a purchase tonight, or you are randomly selected from everyone that has commented and shared and liked the video, then you'll get one of those cards and the rhinestones also. Okay, so my next card I'm going to show you, and this one is my favorite. I think it's just adorable. Isn't that sweet? Okay, so again, this is using the Cup of Cheer and the Wrapped in Plaid, but we're going to add one more thing to it. So I'm going to start, let me grab my supplies over here. I've already stamped the inside, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on the inside of my card. All right. And that one says, wishing you a Christmas filled with love and happiness. And then I'm going to add the Wrapped in Plaid paper. And again, this is from that same 6x6 sheet from the first card that I made. So I had enough to make both of these cards with just one sheet of paper from that. So I'm gonna put this one on there also. All right. So the next thing I have is a layer of vellum. I wanted my little snowman card to kind of stand out. And anytime I use vellum, I don't want that adhesive to show. So if you put it everywhere, it's just going to show all over the place. So I know that I'm going to put my little snowman right here. I'm going to put some adhesive there. And then I'm going to put my greeting down here. So I'm putting the adhesive where I already know that I'm going to be putting something over it. And that's going to hide it. And it's enough that that's actually going to hold that in place. So it doesn't have to have a lot, but you can see exactly where that adhesive is if I did that. So I'm going to go ahead. My dogs are being pretty vocal tonight, so I apologize for that. We were gone for the weekend, so they're needing a little attention, and Mommy's not giving it to them. So I'm going to stamp the greeting. And we're using the same greeting that we used on the first one. So it says Sweet Christmas Wishes. I'm just going to stamp that right there in the middle. Okay. And I'll go ahead and add that to the front of the card. And you notice I'm doing the little snowman last. Gotta save the best for last. So I'm going to put that right there. And then I'm going to take my pad here and a little bit of the fine tip glue. And I'm just going to squeeze out a small amount there. And I'm going to just dip my holly leaves in there because it's messy and it can be kind of hard to fit that otherwise. So I'm just going to put those there. And I'm going to use my pick it up tool. Whoops, maybe I'm not. Nothing works well on live video, guys. Okay, and I've got my little holly here, holly berries. I'm going to put them in there. And we're just going to, again, I'm picking those up with the little glue tip, and I'm dipping those in the glue before I put them on the card. If you don't have one of these tools, you got to get you one. They are awesome. Of course, now my fingers are getting all yucky, but that's because I'm not really doing this perfectly. Okay, so I've got my little holly leaves on there now. So we're just going to set that aside and let that dry. We will need some more of that glue, but that's for something else. So this is something I want to show you, and I got to tell you what page it's on so you can look in your catalog, because you probably missed this because I did the first time. It is on page 19, and this is the Let It Snow embellishment kit. And honestly, this little box is so cute. I'm gonna have to do something cute with this box once I'm done with all the supplies. So inside this, you get some glittery washi tape. So it's really sparkly. I think you can see that there. Yeah, very sparkly. And then this little packet here, this is all of those little felt shapes that you see on the snowman on the front cover. So there's little mittens here, a little hat, there's scarves. So all different little accents that you can put and all different colors that you can put on your snowman. So those are adorable. And then you also get all of these enamel shapes. So all of these little snowman shapes. So you get the eyes, the noses, and the little arms. It's super cute. And then this right here are little teeny tiny snowballs, okay? They are tiny, but we're gonna use them as marshmallows because that's fun. So I went ahead and I cut a mug, just die cut that from Whisper White cardstock. And then I cut a very small, I think this is the smallest oval from the Ovals layering dies. You could also use a circle or anything else like that that you want to. But what I'm gonna do is just put a little bit of adhesive here. I'm gonna line this up because I just want that to look like either like hot chocolate or coffee, just kind of coming out of the top. Now I've got a little bit here and a little bit here. I'm gonna cut that off. Just trim that. And trim it again, over here. Oh. This little corner's not as easy to do. All right. I think I got it. Okay, so there is that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start adding my little snowman pieces. So I'm gonna put his nose on first. That's actually the easiest. I guess I'll take this away because that'll be easier for you to see. So I'm gonna put my snowman nose on. And then we're gonna put a couple of the eyes. Got those. And then I cut a heart from one of my old Valentine's Day dies. Most of us paper crafters have a heart punch somewhere. So just use whatever you've got. And this is a cherry cobbler heart. I'm gonna just peel that backing off and put that down there. And then I'm gonna add a couple little arms holding that heart. Got one more over here. And then, you know, you could use the smaller ones if you wanted to do the mouth, but I just drew it on. My basic black marker has died, so I am using a fine tip Sharpie. So again, use what you got, people. And we're just gonna draw a little smiley face on him. So he's looking pretty cute. And then I have a candy cane that I put together. And again, that was the Whisper White die cut on top of the cherry cobbler. I'm just gonna cut it and add a little adhesive down here. Well, maybe. My adhesive is not cooperating tonight. Let me try it over here. There we go. It's working now. And we're gonna put that as like a little candy cane straw there. He's cute, isn't he? All right. So now my card, I have him here. I'm gonna go ahead and put some dimensionals on the back. Get those on there. don't be afraid to use a few dimensionals. They are cheap and we don't like to be chintzy on those. So we're going to take that off. Just like so. Almost done there. All right, and then he's going to cover up my adhesive, my little spot there. I'm going to just put him right there. And there you go. And then remember those little snowballs? If you want, you can add a few marshmallows to your hot cocoa. So this is the finished cards. Very cute, right? So just a cute, simple card, and just another way you can use that little snowman kit and combine it with the cup of cheer. So that was my project for you for tonight. I'll have this up on my blog tomorrow with some other photos and all of the measurements that I used. So if you have any questions about it, feel free to ask.